Donchenko opts for the Slav defense exchange variation against Bluebaum in this German Championship Masters 2025 Open Round 1 matchup. On d4. On d5. On c4. This position is typical of Slav defense. Threatening pawn takes d5. On c6 played by Bluebaum. On takes d5. On takes d5. Bishop f4. Knight c6. On e3. Knight f6. Bishop d3. Bishop g4. Threatening bishop takes d1. Knight e2 played by Donchenko. On e6. Knight bc3. Bishop d6. Bishop g5. Bishop h5. It is novelty move. Queen b3. Threatening queen takes b7. On a6 played by Bluebaum. Knight f4. Threatening knight takes h5. Bishop g6 played by Bluebaum. Bluebaum is aiming to play. Bishop takes f4. Or bishop takes f6. On takes f6. Bishop takes g6. On takes g6. On takes f4. Knight takes d4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight takes g6 played by Donchenko. On takes g6. On h3. Queen c7. Queen d1. Knight h7. Threatening knight takes g5. Bishop h4 played by Donchenko. Knight f8. Threatening rook takes h4. Bishop g5 played by Donchenko. On f6. Threatening pawn takes g5. Bishop f4 played by Donchenko. Bishop takes f4. On takes f4. Queen takes f4. Knight e2. Threatening knight takes f4. Queen d6 played by Bluebaum. King castled kingside. On g5. Bluebaum is preparing to play. On g4. Rook e1. On takes h3. On g3. King f7 and dominate the board. On f4 played by Donchenko. On takes f4. Rook takes f4. On f5. Queen d2. On g5. Threatening pawn takes f4. Rook f2 played by Donchenko. Rook g8. Rook e1. King castled queenside. Rook b1. Knight d7. On b4. Knight f6. On b5. Threatening pawn takes c6. On takes b5 played by Bluebaum. Bishop takes b5. Knight e4. Threatening knight takes d2. Queen b2 played by Donchenko. Threatening bishop takes c6. Knight a5 played by Bluebaum. Threatening knight takes f2. Rook ff1 played by Donchenko. King b8. Bluebaum is preparing to play. On g4. Bishop d3. On takes h3. Bishop takes e4. On takes e4. On g3. On e3 and establish a winning position. Bishop d3 played by Donchenko. Rook g7. Rook fc1. Rook c7. Rook takes c7. Queen takes c7. Queen a3. Knight c4. Threatening knight takes a3. Queen a4 played by Donchenko. Rook c8. Rook c1. Knight g3. Bluebaum wants to play. On g4. Queen d1. On takes h3. Knight takes g3. Queen takes g3. Queen f3. Queen h4, and take decisive advantage. Rook b1 played by Donchenko. Knight takes e2 check. Bishop takes e2. Knight d2. Threatening knight takes b1. Rook d1 played by Donchenko. Threatening rook takes d2. Knight e4 played by Bluebaum. Rook d3. Knight c3. Threatening knight takes a4. Queen c2 played by Donchenko. Queen f4. Bluebaum is aiming to play. Knight takes e2 check. Queen takes e2. Rook c1 check. Queen d1. Rook takes d1 check. Rook takes d1. King a7, and secure a stronghold in the game. Bishop f1 played by Donchenko. Knight e4. Threatening rook takes c2. Queen b2 played by Donchenko. Rook c1. Threatening rook takes f1 mate. Rook f3 played by Donchenko. Threatening rook takes f4. Queen d2 played by Bluebaum. Threatening queen takes b2. Queen b6 played by Donchenko. Rook c6 take a moment to spot the best move for Donchenko. Queen b5 is logical continuation as Queen takes d4 check. King h2. On g4. On takes g4. Queen h8 check. Rook h3 still Donchenko is losing. Let's proceed to the main line. Rook c6. Queen d8 check is not the best move played by Donchenko. Rook c8. Threatening rook takes d8. Queen b6 played by Donchenko. On g4 stop here and find the strongest move for Donchenko. Queen b3 is the right idea because on takes f3. Queen takes f3. Rook c3. Queen e2. Queen takes d4 check. King h2 still Donchenko is losing, shifting to the main game. On g4. Bishop a6 turns the tide in the opponent's favor. Played by Donchenko. Rook c1 check. King h2. Queen f4 check. Rook takes f4. On g3 mate, a masterful performance by Bluebaum.